Welcome to Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast for dreamers, doers, and everyday people making it happen. Whether you're building a business, a mindset, or a better version of yourself, this is your space to stay grounded, get inspired, and keep growing no matter how full your calendar gets. So if you're chasing your dreams and figuring it out as you go, this is your space to stay motivated and keep building. So tune in every week for new episodes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast where we talk about building the life you actually want. Today, we are talking all about your mindset, your thoughts, and why what you think about yourself and your life will actually get you straight to where it is that you want to be. I feel like so many of us, and even myself, like I struggle with this many times, is we feel like there is this perfect version of ourselves out there living the life it is that we want, and it seems so far away. We have to start showing up as that person starting today, and it literally starts with your mindset and how you think about yourself and your everyday life. Strategy, that's obviously always going to matter. Same thing with your work ethic and even your connections. Like these are all things like networking, all of that stuff. It's important, obviously it does matter, but if your mindset is not there and it is not where it's supposed to be, then nothing else is going to stick. So just because you're locked in, just because you keep coming up with these new routines or these new plans every week or every month, or you show up every day regardless, but your head is not in it, then you're not going to get to where it is that you want to be. So your mindset is that one thing that you can carry with you to everything that you have ever dreamed of, or it can also keep you stuck exactly where you are today. So it's very much like a double-edged sword. So in today's video, I am breaking down 5 mindset tips and shifts that have changed everything for me when it comes to going from who I was before to who I am now, and how your mindset can actually help you become the person that gets things done. And it's not going to take a year, it's not going to take a month, it doesn't matter what the timeline is going to be, but these are things that you can do starting today. So let's dive in. So first up, it is time for our weekly Booked, Busy, and Building check-in. So every episode at the beginning, we have 3 things to ask ourselves, which are, number 1, what opportunities are you stepping into this week and how are you staying booked? Number 2, what is taking up your time and energy right now and what is keeping you busy? And number 3, what are you intentionally working towards for your future self and building? So for number 1, this week I actually filmed a really fun little like YouTube reset routine vlog, and I'm really stepping into being more consistent on my personal YouTube channel because I love YouTube. I love long vlogs, and especially when it's just like something cozy and fun. Like those are the kind of YouTube videos that I love to watch. So I'm really stepping into my consistent personal YouTube channel era where I'm really showing up and showing the real bits of my life, where it's not just the fun things like going to events or making a certain amount of money from social media brand deals, etc. Like I am really tuning into this is what my life looks like on a day-to-day basis, and I want you guys to follow along and see. I am just super committed, and I just feel like YouTube is where it's at right now. Number 2, something that is taking up my time and energy right now is kind of like doing a personal rebrand for my channels and where I want certain things to go. So as you guys know, I have a media company called Valdez Agency, and all of these different pieces of content are put onto our podcast, which you guys are listening to right now, the newsletter. We have a book club as well, which if you guys didn't know, I just did a little giveaway for our book club. I was giving away Start With Yourself by Emma Grade. Just so many different channels of content, and I feel like sometimes it's really hard when you are a one-woman show that occasionally gets help and you're just running around trying to do a bunch of things. So I'm really trying to figure out like what is the manifesto of my content and my media company. Like what is the direction that I want to go towards, and what can I do starting today to really get to the place that I dream of? Because in my head, like I already envision Valdez Agency being this really big media company. We have an office space. We produce all of these different shows and all of these different things. We work with XYZ brands. At the same time, it's like I have to start doing that stuff now to get to where it is that I want it to be in the future. So that is taking up a little bit of my time right now, and it's been going really well because I have a concrete, solid plan of this is what I want the direction to be. And obviously things change over time, because that's the other thing, is you cannot think that the way you start now is how it's going to be in the end. And so I'm really just going, trying to figure out like what can I do to have it be the best that it can be right now. And I'm really excited for the future of Valdez Agency and my content and all of these different things. And lastly, I am intentionally working towards being better to myself for my future self. So that basically means like I really want to be less hard on myself and not have these unrealistic expectations for certain things and then get mad at myself when it doesn't happen. Because that is the thing, is when you are overly ambitious or you have really big goals and dreams and all these kinds of things for yourself, when you don't accomplish one of those things in the way you thought you were going to, I feel like I end up beating myself up so bad for it. And I'm like, I should have done this, I should have done that, why couldn't I have done this thing differently? I just need to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And if just because this thing didn't happen the way I wanted it to does not mean that it's not going to come in a different way and in a different version in my life later. So I'm really just trying to be less hard on myself for certain goals and certain things, and there is no timeline for anything. Like, anything can happen whenever we want it to. It's not up to us. So it's really just about like letting go of that end result, especially, and just doing your thing, putting one foot in front of the other and trying as best as you can. So those are my 3 things, and let's get into the rest of the episode. Tip number 1 is your mindset is louder than your motivation. So your mindset is basically all of your beliefs that shape everything around you and who you are and yourself, what you think that you can do, what you believe you can accomplish in this world, and so much more. And this includes things like your attitude, your habits, your perspectives on things, and so much more. I could really list off a million other things, but that is why I wanted to make an entire podcast episode about mindset, because like I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, you can keep showing up every day and you can keep doing things that you have to do, but if your head is genuinely and like physically not where it is supposed to be, and it's not in the thing it is that you are doing, then it's going to be hard for you to stick to what it is that you want to do and believe that you can actually accomplish it. So if that sounds a little bit confusing, I can give you guys an example. If you are someone that maybe you keep going to the gym every single day, you keep showing up, and you have this goal in mind of what you want your health and wellness end result to be like. But if you keep showing up to the gym every day and telling yourself that you are worthless, that you are never going to get to the goal it is that you want to be, you're never going to accomplish this, you're never going to be able to wear that. Like, if you are your own biggest critic and your own biggest bully, then obviously you're not going to get to where you want to be because your mindset is not there. And it's the same thing with anything else in life. If you're a student and you're applying for grad school or college and you keep telling yourself, oh, you're not going to get into your dream school because these people are smarter than you, oh, you're not going to get your dream job because there's more qualified candidates out there, like, that bullying mindset to yourself and that inner critic can really push you further and further from your dreams. But if you switch that to, I can do this, I can accomplish this, I can reach my health and wellness goals, I can get into my dream school, I can get my dream job. Like, as soon as you change your mindset in that little way, so many things around you are really going to start to shift. Like, I knew I always wanted to be some kind of successful business owner. I knew that I wanted to make a certain amount of money, and I knew where I wanted my business to be in a few years, but I wasn't showing up like that person every day. And I kept thinking that person, that reality is so far-fetched. But as soon as I really changed my mindset and I was like, let me make a routine, let me make a set of systems that can actually get me there and that can really get me closer to where it is that I want to be, but I have to start showing up today. As soon as I did that and I took that piece of action, so many things started to come into fruition. I started working with my dream brands, I started getting really cool opportunities, and things were just coming inbound versus me having that mindset of, I don't think I can accomplish this and all of these kinds of things. Like, things started to actually happen as soon as I changed the way that I was thinking about stuff. So let go of that voice in our heads that so many of us have. And remember, like, motivation fades. It's not always going to be there when we need it. I've said this so many times, but mindset is the thing that is going to keep you going even when that feeling of motivation is gone, when that rush, when that high is gone. Your mindset is the thing that you need to nurture and keep building and working on. And discipline, that comes from actually deciding and taking action. It doesn't come from waiting to feel ready in the moment. There are so many times where I don't want to film an episode, I don't want to write a newsletter, I don't want to post a TikTok, I don't want to show up and work, and I still do it anyway because I know that I have to do it for my future self. So people that win in life, they're the ones that show up even when things are boring, even when things are hard, even when things are slow. But having that constant mindset of you can't do this or you can't do that, that is just going to continue to push you further and further. So my piece of advice for this would be stop chasing motivation, stop letting that inner critic win, and instead try to build that mental muscle and give yourself this mindset shift of what is the best case scenario out of this, instead of thinking what is the worst case scenario. Because I struggled with that so much, where I was like, what is the worst thing that could come from this? And I would just have my mind wander off into a million different things versus thinking, let me think the best case scenario. What is the best thing that could come from this? Maybe they say no, but I get this opportunity. Maybe I don't get the job that I wanted, but I get this other great job. Like, there's so many little ways that life kind of tricks you, where you think, okay, I didn't get this opportunity. Instead of being upset about it, maybe there is something out there that is better for you. Always think that way, and I promise you those things are going to come. Tip number 2 is you are not your past. You are your own possibility. So your past does not define your ceiling. Your mindset and all of these different things are what define where you could be and how far you are going to go. If you are someone that always thinks, just because this is my environment, or I'm surrounded by these certain kinds of people, or whatever it is that is around you that you think has a lot to do with why you are where you are today, and it's negative, try to turn this situation around. But it really starts with not letting your past and where you are right now, or your current environment, define where you could be. Where you are starting right now is not where you are going to end in the future. Every successful person has had some sort of rock bottom story or some sort of rock bottom moment where they genuinely thought, like, this is it, I am never going to recover from this, or I didn't get this opportunity I wanted, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, every person that has made it out in the end has had one of those moments. I've had those moments so many times, and in the end, it ends up being so much better. So remember that for yourself. Like, maybe you're not surrounded by the friend group you want. Maybe you don't have the job it is that you want. Maybe you're not at the school you wanted to attend, or you're not at the health and wellness schools you want to be at. Maybe there is just something in life right now that is kind of like stopping you from where it is that you want to be. Try to turn that around and really think, like, how can I make the best out of this situation? Rewire the story it is that you were telling yourself. I used to tell myself, you're a girl from a small town in New Jersey. Everyone is going to make fun of you for posting on social media. People are going to start talking about you. And I just made myself feel so small. And again, it's that inner critic. Like, when you let it win, that is the minute that you let that thing start taking over. So again, try to do that best case scenario thinking, but rewire what you are telling yourself. I could have easily taken that story and ran with it and been like, I am a girl from a small town in New Jersey that's never going to get anywhere. Instead, I rewired it to be, I am someone from a town that no one talks about, and I am going to be the first one from here that is going to do something really big and cool. Like, you see how that immediate switch just automatically, not only does it sound so much better, but switching that around gave me such a boost of confidence. And it's doing little things like that that can really change how you go about your day-to-day life. And it's the same thing with friendships, or the job you have, or the environment you're around. Like, just because it's where you are right now does not mean that is where you are going to end up. And start looking at your past and what you have been through in the past as something that is proof of, like, wow, I overcame this. What else can I do? How can I keep going further? And it's not a way of being like, I need to one up myself and I need to do better and do better, because that is definitely like a perfectionism habit that is not the best either if you are constantly wanting to one up yourself and you're not letting yourself be happy with where you are right now. But look at the things that you have been through as, wow, I overcame these hurdles. I can do more. Like, I proved to myself, even when I was in this moment and I didn't think I was going to do it, wow, I still came out in the end and I did something even better than I thought. For me, I think a great example of that is, again, with social media. I was so scared of people making fun of me, of people talking about me, or sending my posts around town. And I really turned that around and I proved to myself, be successful in your own way. Work with the dream brands that you want. Put the discipline in now. Go out and do content with your sister. Like, I really just put myself into shape where I was like, I know where I'm going to be. I know where I'm going to get, and it starts now. And as soon as I took action, like I said before, things around me really started to change. But it starts with that mindset of not letting certain things define you. Like, you can really create your own possibilities. You can create your own dreams. You are the writer of your own story. So grab the pen, open up a blank page, and say to yourself, like, just because this happened doesn't mean it is who I am. I am still becoming, and I have so much left to do and to give in this world. Number 3 is delusion is a superpower, so use it wisely. This is genuinely one of my favorite tips throughout this entire episode because I love talking about being delusional and really believing in yourself before the rest of the world believes in you. So some of the most successful people that we look up to or that we know, like athletes or actors and actresses, successful business owners, like whoever it is, a lot of these people believed in themselves before it made sense to the rest of the world and before it made sense even in their own world. And I have an example from Jim Carrey that is pulled up on my computer that I remember listening to in a bunch of different like manifestation videos on YouTube. But in the 1990s, Jim Carrey, who is now a very famous actor, was struggling with getting his acting career off the ground, and he really wanted that to be his thing. And so he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services, and he dated it for Thanksgiving 1995. Like, he gave himself this timeline, and he kept this check for $10 million in his wallet to visualize his success. He wanted to be a famous actor. He gave himself a date and a timeline, and he kept working every day to show up and do that. And by 1994, again, he dated it for 1995. 1 year earlier, he ended up securing a $10 million deal for his role in the movie Dumb and Dumber, which we all know. That is just such a cool example, I feel like, of positive delusion where he really believed in himself. He gave himself this date and this time. This is what I want to be known for. This is what I want to do. This is the amount. This is the date. Like, he genuinely believed in himself. And now look, I feel like there's so many movies we can't imagine without Jim Carrey, but some can call it crazy, some can call it unrealistic, or even obsessed, but it's like sometimes that is what it takes to get to where it is that you want to be. The one thing I'll say is you need to see this vision and see this plan or this end goal in your head, and it doesn't matter if no one else believes in it, because as long as you see it and as long as you are showing up every day and doing the thing for that every day, then that is all that matters. We give other people's opinions and other people's thoughts so much attention, and we literally let those things live rent-free in our head, but it's like no one else's opinions is going to pay the bills. No one else's thoughts or what they think is going to get us to where we want to be. That is truly up to ourselves. So don't wait for proof. Don't wait for more evidence. Don't wait for, oh, Monday I'll start. Oh, Sunday I'll start. Like, literally just become your own living proof, your own walking, living, breathing evidence that you're someone that had a dream, you had a goal, you worked towards it, and now look where you are today. And it may take years. It may take such a long amount of time, but that is not up to us, and it doesn't matter. So things are not delusional if you are willing to actually back it up with work. I know I want to be a successful business owner, but that does not mean that I can just keep dreaming of it every day and not doing something about it. So what do? I need to show up in little ways as what a successful business owner would do. I have to wake up early. I got to pitch myself. I have to let people know who I am. I need to keep putting myself out there and put myself in situations and in the rooms that I want to be in. But it starts with taking action and, again, having that vision or having this idea for yourself of who it is that you want to be. So again, delusion is a superpower, but you really have to think of yourself like the person who already has all the things it is that you want. Ask yourself, what would the successful version of me do today? The future you, I don't think, would doom scroll for hours or go out every single day, back-to-back weekend benders and do all of these things. Like, really start embodying the energy of that person now. Don't just do it when it's convenient, because how are you going to attract a new life or this new level in what it is that you are doing if you have the same mindset that you've had for years? So you're not going to see a shift or a growth or a change in anything if you are not becoming that person now and not caring about when the results are going to happen, because you just need to show up now before the results start to come. Before we get into the next tip, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, and that is Valdez Agency. If you're new here, Valdez Agency is the media company that I founded to help ambitious creators, students, and young professionals actually get access to opportunities and real conversations about building something meaningful and going after your dream life. If you're a creator and you want brand deals, education, and a community that wants to see you win, then Valdez Agency is the place for you, and it is absolutely free to sign up and join, to apply and be in our creator community. All you have to do is visit thevaldezagency.com. You can also rate our podcast, Booked, Busy, and Building, after you're done listening, or even right now, if you enjoy the episodes either on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Booked, Busy, and Building Podcast, which posts the full episodes. Make sure you're also signed up for our weekly newsletter, Spill the Success, which has all kinds of resources and new drops towards mindset, career, creator economy, business, and more. And lastly, follow Valdez Agency on Instagram so you never miss anything that is going on, including our book club that is hosted virtually on Fable, where we read books monthly on self-development, mindset, and more, plus our newly launched broadcast channel, which is solely on our Instagram. Reminder again that all of this is free and everything is linked in the show notes, because trust me, we are building something big with Valdez Agency and we would love for you to be a part of it. So let's get back into the episode. Tip number 4, the last and final tip for this episode, is who you surround yourself with makes a bigger impact than you think. So mindset is something that is also very contagious, and that starts with protecting your circle, who you are around, and your environment. If you are around negative people, if you are around those that make your dreams feel like it's really out of reach or that you can't accomplish it, then you already know it's time to cut those people off, or it's time to distance yourself slowly from that energy. And that is something I noticed, that as soon as I distance myself from those kinds of people and I just locked in on what it is that I wanted to do, everything really started to flourish. Because once you give those people's opinions that energy and you let it live rent free in your head, you are never going to get to where you want to be, and you're going to keep staying in that same spot that you've been in for years. So how are you going to grow? How are you going to level up and do all of these things if everyone around you is still thinking small, or they are still down here when you want to be up here? So put yourself in the rooms and in the environments and in the areas where people are thinking bigger, where people have these goals and these dreams and they know that they can do it, even if nothing around them is showing that. Like, you just have to be around that energy and be surrounded by that, because mindset is contagious. As soon as I gave myself some space from people that I knew were not going to probably be the best for my future, that is really when things started to pick up and I really started to flourish. And it may be a coincidence, but to me, it's like that was something I did on purpose, because I know where I want to be. Sometimes you are not going to be able to have everyone grow or go up with you, because some people want to stay down. They want to keep having that victim mentality. They want these things to keep happening to them. But if you're listening to this podcast and you like some of the content that's on here, then I feel like you don't really want to be around that, and you don't want that kind of energy in your life. Even when you are scrolling on social media, like, watch what you are letting influence you and watch the things that you are intaking, because that can also have a really big effect on you. Sometimes it's not even the things that are physically in our life, but it's the things that we are seeing online and the things that we are scrolling through and content that we are watching or things that we listen to. Like, that can also be another really big effect on ourselves. So watch what you are letting influence you and your thoughts. If you are someone that is always watching videos on things that are not really helping you for the better, then watch how quickly those things are going to affect you. I used to be obsessed with crime shows and 48 Hours and ABC 2020. As soon as I stopped consuming that content as much as I was, I really did notice a mindset shift. I was consuming it so much to the point where, like, as soon as I woke up and all day, I was just watching these documentaries and taking this in. And I'm like, I can be listening to different podcasts or even audiobooks. Like, I can be using my time so much more wisely. And as soon as I stopped consuming that as much as I was, and different content like that, I started getting through audiobooks, and I started getting through podcast episodes from podcasts that I love, and I started catching up with other different kinds of content that really made me feel good. So this new mindset shift that you were looking for really starts with just letting go of old energy and old things that are no longer serving you. So do a little audit of what you consume, who you're around, and all of those different kinds of things, and try to rewrite your story in a way, because I know we talked about this in one of the other tips, but rewrite this old narrative that you keep telling yourself and really believe that what you want can happen, but it starts with how you are showing up today. Look at who is around you, look at what you consume, look at where you want to be, stop obsessing with the end result, have that vision, obviously, make it clear, but just be focused on being a little bit better than who you were yesterday and putting one foot in front of the other. That's the best thing that you can do. Life is unpredictable. We are not in control of our timeline. All we are in control of is what we do today and how we can keep showing up for our future selves. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to this episode. Mindset is everything. It is so important to me, and it should be really important to you. If your head is not in it, then you're never going to get to where you want to be. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Thanks for tuning in to Booked, Busy, and Building, where we keep it real, stay growing, and are always showing up for ourselves. Remember that you're not behind, you're in the middle of becoming, so keep building what matters, and the life you want is already yours. And until next time, stay booked, stay busy, and keep building.